Okay, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to TFC Open Mic episode 30. Okay, so we've got a raunchous panel with me tonight here. One person that's missing tonight is Liam himself. Okay, so I'm hosting, obviously, TSM. I've been away this week. Actually, I went to Scotland. Okay, then, the land of the kills. And I went sea kayaking with otters and freaking sea lions and that sort of stuff, and was generally freezing. So I'm glad to be back. I come back with a sense of humor, I think, because it wasn't very funny up there. It was fucking freezing, in fact. So what have I been doing this week? I spent the last 2 days playing catch up. There's been a heck of a lot going on. I've only been away a week, and there's tons of stuff. So what sort of stuff are we going to talk about tonight? So we'll cover the TLCs, okay, FM target changes, the raid preview. I won't say previews, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The cash offers that are floating around at the moment. Rakin and Liam meet the mega hole, that sort of little exchange, okay? And obviously a little shout out as well, which I'll start with, which is nice. We're almost at 6,000 members on the TFC community, so well done all. So yeah, bring your friends in. Let's find another 40, and we're going to hit the 6,000 mark. So that's not bad in just under 6 months. So go on then. I'll leave it open to you guys first. Pick a subject, any subject, so long as it's something around about what we're going to talk about. Go.
How are the sea lions?
Oh, quite far away. They look warmer than me. Anyway, there we go.
I had to do it. I couldn't resist.
So come on then. TLC number one. Who has done the TLC for the mega hole first?
I've done level 1.
You've done level 1. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Have you done level 1? Have you done level 1 because and it's good what the hell's in here as well, because obviously he's very pro mega ships. Okay. I think he's on the Kixie payroll, but to be honest, I'm just getting there, and I did mention to you that I might have actually coined the Hyperion shards and got 120 in one hit because I'm just basically lazy. So mine's not quite finished building yet, so I'm hoping this will come back yet again. But Paul, you said you've done level 1. I know you just got smashed on your mega hole. Are you doing it because you feel now that it was really important because you missed it the first time round?
I think the first time round it come around way too early. I waited 70 days build time, and Kixie handed my ass to me for waiting that amount of time to wait for the first TLC. My boat came out a day after the first TLC come out, and I was on the ball, and you would find very few had done it coin free for the first TLC. The second TLC, having watched a couple of people hit the first TLC that coined their mega holes, level 1, anybody's doing it with just cannons, whatever, be prepared to coin it because you will not do it on your own.
I heard that basically level 1's great, get the prize and then coin some stuff, or is it something along those lines?
You got to coin the first round if you've only got cannons on there.
Right, okay.
If you want to get to the second round, get the first weapon, which is the scattergun or whatever they call it. Right, it's definitely a coin for your first run.
See,
there's no way around it.
I have a huge problem with that. I have a very, very large issue with the entire TLC because this is an aspect that they are pushing very heavily. It's something that they are saying is going to be, absolutely here for the future. If you want us to, get all worked up and want to do this, the first bits of technology should not be this difficult to get.
I agree.
I have my mega hull finally done. I only have 2 weapons on it. I can't do the TLC again. So
yes.
How far back?
George, you can, but it's going to cost a coin.
No, I'm not coining it.
Yeah, no.
This is something that they're pushing. This is something that they're pushing very heavily.
I do agree with what you're saying, 100%. And I'm totally against coin. I waited 70 days for my mega to come out. Right? In fact, it was 75 days before they give us free frags. And I got on the ball of the mega holes really quick. And I only know one person that actually had their mega out, and they give up on the first TLC when they first released it because it's absolutely ridiculous. The repair times on the mega hull are obscene, to say this is a must-have. This was advertised as it's part of a different game. It's not must-have. What they're actually offering is now, Iving Up, JD Raken said they're gonna give us this, that, and the other, where when we all live up, we can actually generate coin
for the whole alliance.
Yeah, there's incentives. There's incentives there, but
it's wrong. It's wrong.
No, there's incentives there, but what I'm saying is if they're going to push this so hard and so heavily, you can't come out with a TLC and go, hey, you know what? Here's the stuff, here's the bits, and make it that difficult. Particularly since a lot of this hinges on the hiving ability of the hull. Yeah. If you're going to have something where, hey, you know what, you guys to participate and have fun and have alliances battle each other and shit, you gotta hive up. Okay, that's fantastic. But the thing that you need to defend the hive is in the top tier of this prize pack. No, that's ridiculous. I barely have mine out. I have 2 weapons on it, and I'm not in the middle of the pack on this thing.
Well,
I think it's pretty clear.
Let me ask.
Sorry, who's that? Trent? Was that?
No, what the hell?
Say something?
How long did they give you to do the second part of phase 2 of the DLC?
I think it's 3 hours.
Yeah, it's 3 hours. 3 hours, then 1 hour for your last back end.
Yeah. Right. I finished it. The last one, if you don't have the conflagration scatter guns, minimum of 3 of them on your ship, you will not get through it because you don't have time for your bridge to repair.
That whole thing is a mistake. Then I have an issue with the entirety of how they rolled that out.
Yeah, George agreed completely.
I've just got an issue with mega hulls, full stop.
Yeah, fine.
I built mine over a month ago. It's still sat at 145 level. I just find with all the other chores we've got in the game, which I still really enjoy the game, but there are a lot of chores there. It's just another chore at the moment to get the rests through hitting the 91s, which were a pain in the arse to hit to get the mega hull and the gantry built in the first place. That it's just I'm not finding an enjoyable part of the game. And then for them to think that we're going to coin it to get through these TLCs, it's a joke. I think they need to sort of make things a little bit more achievable, slow it down a little bit, and then we might enjoy it a bit more. The one thing I will say is I'm now with an alliance that's got lots of mega hulls, and the hiving idea is a good idea. So I'll give them that. That is a very positive move.
See, Judge, I think you would have far more time to actually hit those 91s and get all the parts if you'd stop hitting me.
Yeah, I like hitting bases. Okay.
Well, I haven't got a problem picking up the rares, picking up the uranium, picking up the titaniums. The way I'm set at the moment is pretty. The 24-hour research is starting to really rag my butt.
Well, there's that.
My mega roll's getting bumped twice a day. So for 24 hours, I'm losing 40 hours research. So I'm going to go and pick on a little guy with my 243 level mega hull without sounding big-headed, blah, blah, blah. I'm not claiming the shit. So I'm going to go and bump a little 145 level mega hull and steal his one-day research.
You better win.
What am I doing? What I'm doing is I'm putting him off actually going with the flow with the mega hull shit.
Well, that's the same as a level 100 hitting level 50. It's the same concept.
It's a pirate game. You take what you need.
Yeah, I know you, Iram. Pack it in. I know where you got your resources from.
He's stealing it. He's a pirate.
Yeah, no.
That's part of it. And we brought up, I think we brought up in the
but you should be able to replay. I'd like to see the 24-hour come down to 3 hours. So I can get whacked every 12 hours in theory. But that gives me a chance if I'm online to actually research my R&D to get the resources I need to actually improve my mega hull. They need to reduce to 24.
that's something that we brought up in the interview. That's something that we brought up in the questioning, and it's being looked at. We have no idea what the result is. But
George, it's been looked at.
A bunch of stuff.
It's been looked at. Isn't no good to a game player.
Okay, all right then.
We need it in the game. We need it now, not in 3 months' time.
Understood, mate. Understood, mate. Got it. Let's move on. Okay. Right then. So, TLC number 2 then. Mate, I got it, but that was 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll move on.
Yeah, wait. There was a second TLC, are you meaning?
No, I was joking, mate. Just the timeline's gone that long.
No, I mean that the amount of people doing it, I'm not sure that you can call that a TLC.
No, exactly. Okay, there is a second TLC, but the damage, obviously, what is the idea of this second TLC? You can hit these targets, okay, you can go in there, you can die, and actually, basically, all you can get is a skin and a 2-day build token. And that there, TLC, basically costs you more than just coining 2 days of build tokens.
The reality of it as well is most people who got the sub on the first raid got the skin anyway. So it's a 2-day ship day build token.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a negative. Anybody who does that, I think, it's a bit of a fool, personally.
Yeah.
I did it.
And who in the hell would put a skin on a sub?
I did.
I did.
We all did.
I think everybody on here did.
I did. I put it on the ones I have already finished to knew that those are not the ones I can use and not the one that I have to refit yet. So
that's exactly what I did. Exactly same thing. I used it as a fool. Yeah,
I mean, you know,
they're above water sometimes. You got to show them off.
Yeah. Since Mark was out playing with sea creatures and stuff, I think he missed a lot of the stuff on the page.
Being a pirate.
But you were being a pirate with penguins.
I mean, I think
I had a little thing that I did on the page that I ripped into that TLC, that sub TLC. That was just not. There's no level of that's okay at all. No. Not even a little bit.
No, it's.
I think the sad thing with the skins, going back to that as well, I think if I owned a Dragon Crawler, I'd probably buy a skin for that as well, just to be different, even though no one would ever see it.
I think you're probably right, actually.
Oh, sorry, not Dragon, Ghost Crawler.
GC, yeah. GC.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Too much port.
Oh, see? That's not a good excuse. Need more. When you start slurring, then it'll be too much.
Whatever works. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, we'll just say TLC number 1, hard, got a coin. I would say that's the mega hull one. Or then TLC number 2, pointless, don't do it. Agreed?
Yeah. Not unless you. I'm going to have a go at the level 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
I've got.
Don't bother.
Really, there's no need. You
give up. It's an absolute rip-off for 2 days ship build token.
No, I'm on about the mega hull.
Mega hull.
That it's working. I think that's something that's going to come later again, and you will try again, because if you have to build whatever you got in the first part of the TLC to go to the second, unless you are coining that you said you are not, you're not going to get through. So just wait for the next time.
And when they put it out again, you'll have more than an hour to do the second part of it, like they did on this one. You'll have 3 hours, and you'll have time to repair in between.
Hopefully, but I mean, they got to get some stuff out to get people to be excited about this thing, because right now, I was one of the biggest advocates, and I'm still kind of on the fence, because I'm like, fuck, this is a pain in the ass.
George, I'm as big an advocate as what you are. There needs to be instructions on what to do, some sort of a guide that says this will help you with the limit of success. What I've noticed on my part is equipping the Cyclone launcher to a couple of the turrets helps get rid of the Apollos in the beginning. And then once that's done, you can focus on killing the turrets on the opposing Hyperion, and you've got a chance at that point.
I have to admit, I've been watching a few of the battles. I'm not participating, and I can't. But I've been watching a few of the battles to see some tactics and that sort of stuff. And I agree. Yeah, getting rid of the goddamn ships is definitely a thing to do first, without a doubt.
Yeah, you have to have the concrete rockets put on the front.
But one question for you, Ron, since it seems that you are maybe the most veteran using them. Is any fun for you just to engage another fleet with your mega ship? Because for what I see or looks to me, the only ones that get fun is the people that add into the combat to help you to kill the other mega ship. But for you, it's not very fun. You cannot move that ship. It's likely, I don't know,
Actually, it depends upon the person that's doing the attacking. For me, for my part, I act like a controller. I'm an air traffic controller or an AWACS controller that kind of give my ally mates an idea of where to enter and where to fight and when it's okay to cross the turrets to fire on them. A lot of mistakes you'll see from people that don't have that is they'll run right across the cannons and get slaughtered. If you tell somebody to stay out of the firing arc from where the barrel is pointed, you kill those boats instantly. We went out last night and slaughtered 15 other Hyperions, and I think we only had one guy lose one fleet.
Wow.
Okay. That's interesting.
On that note, I've been doing a rampage with my alliance mate yesterday as well, because he had a freshly built Hyperion, and we needed to start building things. So we've killed 19 Hyperions in a row in about 2 hours or so, and I was doing the fleet thingy, and my total repair time was something like 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Exactly. Listening to, and I have to thank Mark for putting up with my asinine questions at times. Going back and listening to the Raken and Liam questionnaire, or whatever you want to call it, they bring out some instant points. As a matter of fact, I've got the drone module building on mine. I haven't coined it yet, but I'm anxious to see how it's going to help.
Me too. Yeah, I think it'd be quite good.
Coiner.
No, I didn't coin it. I didn't coin it.
You said yet.
Yet. I guess I did.
I'm probably going to pick your brain room later on. So check the group chat. Check the group chat later.
You got it.
And just a quick one, guys. And I don't want advertising this. I say we'll do as much as we can on the TFC, but there is a dedicated page on the Facebook page, which is the Hyperion Owners Club as well. So we don't have to change the Megaship Owners Club. Sorry, that is really streamlined solely specifically to do with that topic. So there's absolutely no reason. A lot of people on the TFC are on there as well, and that sort of stuff. So.
Are they going to release a skin for the Hyperion?
Just
wondering.
It is a dull, ugly thing. It's dull, it's ugly, and there ought to be. Yeah, you're right.
It's going to look like the Reaver.
I have to say, the new Reaver one looks probably funky, doesn't it? I must admit, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see that.
Okay, if you think about it, TSM, look at your logo. That looks suspiciously familiar to what the Reaver looks like.
It's spooky, that. It is. Might be done for a purpose. But, yeah.
You think?
I don't know, mate. Not for me to say. It's good anyway. I'm looking forward to that one. I might even miss out the Hyperion, don't do anything to it, and just build the other one, but we'll see. It's going to be like the Conqueror holes, isn't it? One does one thing, one does another, and that sort of stuff. So,
I have a feeling that that Reaver is going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
I hope it's more interesting than the Hyperion.
Well, it's early days. The thing is, do you know what I think about the mega holes? And I keep Raken keeps saying it. Treat your Hyperion as you treat your base, okay? And then everything that goes on it is just like putting it onto your base tiles. It's taken us 5 years to get our bases to where they are now. It'd be very difficult and very foolhardy then to race out something to make it as interesting, battle worthiness, etc., as the bases are now. If you went back 4 years and started playing BP again, in fact, Andrew did a little video, if you saw it, basically, where he looked at the incarnation of BP over the last 5 years, and right back in the early days, it was just a few blocks of square things running around a screen shooting white dots, or red dots, in fact, so things have moved on progressively to something that's quite complex, with some a bit of dodgy code and that sort of stuff, but that's just the way the nature of Flash games work.
Most things are still the same.
So this, yeah, they probably are. I'll
Can you move land tiles then?
I'll give it. I don't think. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, let's. I'm going to give him some breathing space for now before I absolutely slate him. In fact, I don't slate.
I'm building a square base.
Yeah.
Okay, a question. Robert Bell wants to change it.
Rum, is this a serious question or is it a silly question?
No, it's a serious question.
Let him ask it first and find out.
What is everybody planning on doing with the Man of Wars?
Don't even ask.
At the moment,
Man of War as a whole.
At the moment, it's sitting in my dock. I haven't actually sailed it yet.
At the moment, mine is 3 stars ranking, and it's full of shit.
Well, I've got mine at 4
oh
stars.
Shit, I'm still live, I mean, in fact, the Man of War is an absolutely wonderful hull, and you really all ought to build it as soon as you can because it's brilliant.
My fragments.
I forgot we was live on air.
I'm gonna mute you for a minute for that.
And anyway,
Only 1 minute.
what's the
Only?
a couple of them maybe? What what's next, Mark?
Right. So then, George, it's your section now. FM targets. Let's review what's happening.
Section. Oh, okay. Well,
I like putting you on the spot, mate. Go on.
we have the 102s got pulled this week, and everyone's all up in arms and all that stuff. They should be back. They should be back next week. I don't know how long the 107 has. From some inclination or some hints that I got on another show yesterday, it might be really, really soon. And since we have Laredo in the chat, he might be able to verify it's going to be really, really soon that the 107 is going to be gone.
I thought it was.
What?
I thought it was just after the October raid.
No,
I thought
that's
that
what we've
FM
all-
cycle.
That's what we've all speculated. I don't know if that's accurate, however. I don't think it is accurate.
Yeah, we'll wait for confirmation. Thank you.
The
Well, they said at the end of the month, but who knows?
See, Laredo just said 107's on the clock. I'm betting that it's not going to be too long. It might be much shorter than we expected. The 109s went live this week. They are live. They are permanent. You're not getting rid of them. Everyone that hates them, get used to it. On that note, though, there's been a couple of people that have come up with ways to get into the 109s and either one-shot them or break them up into bits. A lot of people are hitting the islands and stuff, but we do have on.
That's not annoying at all, is it?
No, not at all. No. Although I will say this, with the weekend that we had this weekend, I actually got all my bits for my R4 Citadel. So, but we do have Caesar, who has used some funky builds that we've discussed to do the 109s, and then I have a Punisher tank that I was using in front of Vendettas, but checking the wind, I'm actually building Citadels. That being said, even though I have the Vendettas, I am going to be building Citadels. The Punisher tank is a great tank. The video's up a couple of places. And I don't know, Caesar, do you want to talk at all about some of the stuff that we found in the 109s? Or?
Well, all I can say is the main reason why I did that video with the Fury was to give those guys who don't coin or haven't got much time an ability to get points to tier 4 and get the 2-day tokens. In saying that, I remember when we had Revenge first came out, I think it was before the resist bypass or the deflect bypass was implemented into the game.
Yep.
They were able to do all the chores in the game for basically no damage or minimal damage. Now, not long after that, that was fixed. So I am guessing at some point that my method is not going to work. So I am doing what you said, which is building a Punisher tank. And I am upgrading my Drat Carrier tank as well to be able to do the FN. And I'm potentially going to build a Neptune tank as well to try and have a different way of doing it. So one will have a high siege deflect and the other one will have a high assault deflect.
For the centers,
A little bit better, yeah.
Caesar, was yours the photo I saw on the Facebook page showing the the Harlocks, the 2 Citadels and 2 Furies, a 35-minute repair for a 109?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's brilliant. No, I like that.
But like I said, PvP hulls are not meant to be doing PvE, so we have to find another way. In a sense, it was just me showing off.
Well, no, let's hope they just don't screw us over like normal and allow us to find that there is a way by using other hulls that are in the game that have quicker repair times and stuff like that to make these chores a little bit more doable rather than just always, I could do 5 107s with a Punisher tank. I now use that Punisher tank and it gets killed in 1 109.
Well, that's why I was doing the Punisher. Me and Caesar were playing back and forth with our builds and kind of having a little fun with it. and I went the Punisher route while he did the Conqueror hull. But the thing is that Kixeye has, since the Revenge has come out, has continued to delineate between PvP and PvE, and I'm thinking that it's there's going to come a time when you are not going to be able to use one in one of the other targets.
Okay, so this is a timely point to mention this.
Yes, bring that up, because that is a fantastic, for anyone that does not have these or doesn't have the prints. This is a fantastic deal.
Yes,
let's be honest. Why do you think that's been offered? Why do you think that's been offered?
Well, like I said, I see everyone thinks that Kixeye is this evil company and stuff, and honestly, that they drop hints all the damn time. It's just no one wants to listen. Because it's
and the build on those isn't bad either. If you look at the build,
it ain't that bad. I actually kind of like the fact that they did a mix of stuff in it so people would get blueprints.
Well, they built the build they've offered there is so you can use them for other things as well as the FM for lower levels that don't, and you could be a level 20 and get these things if you wanted to. I'm a little bit cautious on things like some of your buildings, because some of the items on there are basically Forsaken items. And I'm hoping you'd be able to use them straight away. Clearly, we're all well past the level of things like, advanced, sort of level 5 buildings and that sort of stuff. So a couple of the items on there come later on in some of the building packs. So, but I'd like to think that basically once you've got it, it's already fitted and you should be able to use it. If you take it off, I'm not sure you'll be able to put it back on again if you're a really low level and you didn't have that building up to that level to be able to do it. But the point is, you could, if you're a level 20, these things are going to annihilate bases. You'll be laughing your ass off for months.
But do you think that it's offered to the level 20? Because I know not everybody is getting it, not just because you may have full fleet of it. So I'm not sure if a level 20 is getting this.
Okay,
because
there's no level lock for this.
I can actually speak to the whole idea behind this offer if anyone actually cares.
Yeah, no, we know what go on. Yeah.
They came up with this this is actually in response to some feedback from some of the players, and it's a test offer to see if it's well received by the community. Okay, it's a limited offer. It's not going to be a global offer. Not everyone's going to get it, but if it works well and if people receive it well, they're actually come up with more in a similar vein to this, where you can get more BPs and it's pre-built, or it's at least built close to what people would use it for. You know what I mean? This is something that they're testing out, and I'm actually kind of happy that they did, because it is in response to some feedback that they've gotten.
Yeah, no, I like the idea, as you say, because at times people come back or just people get in, and just having to wait for a whole store or something like that, so you can get some tools to play in the game a bit more comfortable. It's a hard time, because you see that you cannot do anything before you get any of those. So these ideas for me is not a bad idea. And the offer is not bad at all.
And Mark, going back to what you were talking about earlier, if you get the components in an offer like that, you can take them off the hull as a low level, and you do redeem you do keep the blueprint. You can use those blueprints on other hulls.
No, that we understood. What we're worried about is that some of them might need a level requirement for an advanced lab before you can use it. So if you take it off the hull, you might not be able to put it back on until you get that requirement.
You still can. You still can.
Okay. Oh wow.
I think that's a bargain.
Well, maybe just the Garden Scramble. I think they have.
But then I like my cigarettes with £5 notes and stuff like that.
No, I love this offer. It's great even for the lower levels, and the build for a lot of us is we see it as suboptimal because we already have all the tech and we can fit it out, and we have all the trial and error that kind of funnel into a good build for the FMs. But if you're low level, and let's say these 2 Citadels are all you have, well, you have anti-morts on there. Yes, they're not Gales, and that's unfortunate, but you have Hails, and that's great for lower levels. You have Guidance Scrambler that's going to help with the missiles. You have Almarban that's going to help for the missiles. And maybe sometimes you look at it and you go, hey, I can do this a little better. And then you start to think and kind of learn what goes where and why it goes there. And that'll get you started thinking about the ships in the game, and that'll hook some people in, I'm sure. A lot of this is high tier stuff. The Citadel itself is tier 5. You're getting tier 3
Judgment Mortars, for God's sake. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Judgment Mortars. And so you're getting the blueprints, and they're very high level, and you're skipping them in the FM rotation because now you have them. So like if you were to get the Citadel Mort first in tier 5, you don't because you have it. So you skip that and you get your 2-day tokens and bonus a rotation sooner. So all of that is great value. I mean, I have all the stuff. I have sits. They're great. If I didn't, I wouldn't spend the money because this game. But it's great if you want to spend money and want to get ahead. Fantastic.
Let me ask you, Brian. Let me ask you this, because we've had a conversation before about relevancy, and people come into the game and they don't want to wait a year to become relevant in the game, right? This, I think, is partially in response to that. If you did not have the stuff, say you were a little bit lower of a level and you didn't have all this crap and you didn't have the Citadel, do you think this would actually help you feel better about the game in terms of your relevancy to the game, like being able to get into the FM, say, or being able to get some other targets that you wouldn't be able to hit with this?
100%.
I think it's great. I think for newer players coming into the game, players that have taken a break, the Citadel is a good hull.
Yes,
it's a brilliant hull.
I think,
I think if the problem is you do need a good tank to go with it, and that's where the lower players might struggle. But even so, it is a good hull. I think it's a good offer. It's a good deal, and those who don't have that tech, I think if they have coin to spend and they don't mind spending coin on the game, they should jump at it.
Bear in mind, you can buy the single offer one. That's the twin, but you can buy the single offer one, which means you've got all the tech, which means you can slow build the rest.
Yep.
Sure. And even then, like
do that. Buy 4.
Yeah, and even then, even then. Well, speaking back to George's question first about relevancy, yes, the FM is the most important part of the game. I think there's no argument. If you say raids are the most important at the start, well, you're going to get wrecked a lot, and that's going to be bad. But the FM is where you get all the tech. It's something that keeps you coming back to get all these new things week after week, or ship build tokens if you like, and you are shot up to maybe not the top level, but a very high level. And yes, we're talking about, you need a tank for the remote targeting. Well, not necessarily in the lower level targets. I haven't hit anything below, I guess now they're the 102s because they were 107s. Yeah. I haven't hit one of the lower level targets, but I'm pretty sure if you were to go at them with just Citadels, because these have such high missile resist and explosive resist and evade inherent, that they would do quite well in those targets.
Yeah, you might be able to get by. I was going to say, you might be able to get by in the 102s. I mean, the only thing I did ask for this, and I know I'm being selfish, but I did say if they're going to keep on offering these types of things, the people that have all of the blueprints, I would like to see even a little bit of a discount on the total amount. I don't know if I'd ever, if I'd ever see it, but I did ask.
The other thing that helps for me is whenever you see a player that's out there that's willing to buy these boats to make themselves relevant in the FMs, I'm more willing to help this person in the raids get better tech than I am somebody who wants to beg for something for nothing.
Hell yes.
Absolutely.
I have an issue with it though. Reason being is you skipping the learning curve and the understanding of how these blueprints work, or how the hulls work, and how they interact with each other. And how many times have you seen people just asking for builds left, right, and center without actually understanding how they work?
Never seen that.
Caesar, I respect everything that you've done, but again, you get these people that don't understand anyway that still ask for these builds. If they're at least willing to spend a little bit to get the tech to help themselves in the FM, it makes it so much easier to help them in the raid.
And I mean, while there is part of that is that issue, I mean, keeping the players, especially newer players, you got to get them relevant quicker. I mean, that's one of the big things that they have to address, and I think this is part of going towards that, addressing that problem. They can, if they start out and they buy this stuff and they're starting to get, into that FMs and all that stuff, they're going to ask questions, hopefully, and they'll get better. I mean, there's a reason why we're almost at 6,000 members at this point. That's 6,000 active playing players, It's not accidental. It's because people want to learn. I hope.
Yeah, and the good side, I guess, to Rum's comment about skipping the learning curve, it's also skipping the grind. you'd have to go up through a lot of Foundry fragments to get to the Citadel in the first place. And what I would hope is that if someone were to, let's say I've only been playing for 2 weeks and I'm level 20 and I buy this thing, let's just say, and I read it and I go, okay, it does really good explosive mortar thing, this and that. It's got mortars. Okay, wait a minute. What's remote targeting? And so I go on and ask what remote targeting is. And then someone tells me, oh, you know, that yellow circle, you can fire in that if something else goes up and spots it. And then that will lead to more questions about, oh, what does that mean? Like anything can spot for it and this and that. And hopefully you come away with a better understanding. And hopefully the person that's answering your questions would give the hint of just build a good tank and put it up front. But I think that these targets are so powerful, especially on the lower level targets, to get to tier 1, 2, 3, that you don't necessarily need to, you know, put one up front and have it spot for the other. But you could, and it would do you better, and that's a good way to learn as well.
Well, these builds lead into different parts of the game. I mean, they're going to lead you into using crews, because the Molotov Maiden will work really well with these. It's going to also help if somebody thinks about putting it in their guard, because there are still a lot of boats out there that are weak to the explosive. So it's going to help a level 20, 30, 40, whatever, that is smart enough to drop 1 or 2 in their guard to fight off the big boats. It gives them something to fight back and feel better with.
Somebody in chat brought up a good point, though, is if you are a low-level player and your dock is not upgraded to a certain level, then you will not be able to hold that fleet.
You'll suffer, yeah.
Well, you'll have to take off a couple of things to get it within weight. That's all that is.
But let's say if a very low level, like a level 30, buys these, I can see that guy doing tier 4 in the FM constantly from that point onwards.
Yeah, he just bought some time, hasn't he?
Oh,
and
yeah.
then with tier 4 tech, he can build up something.
Well,
here's the thing. I mean, go ahead, Ron.
No, I was just going to say, the other thing that's done is these are priced so fairly that you're saving yourself 30 to 40 days worth of build time in the shipyard.
Yeah. And also, you're just giving yourself access to uranium, because you can get to a level of the FM that can give you a reasonable amount twice, 3 times a month
to help
with
with
the
the
rest of the game. Some uranium, whereas certain individuals can't get any. So it's another good. There are a lot of pluses to this, but the point is, okay, a PVE hull, okay, then doing PVE targets, okay, environmental targets, and not a PvP hull doing PVE tasks. So that's the hint. Okay, just bear that in mind when you think about what you're building for the future. All right, as Ren said in his post, it was a hint that this, and now they've come up with this really cheap deal, relatively cheap in the terms of the game. Okay, then, but actually you couldn't build it yourself and then press. Right. Even with the res going through, press build and then press coin. You couldn't do it for this price. It's not possible.
Right, and here's another thing too is if we're going to have another garrison target in like 6 months, right? And unless they come up with another garrison hull, this might be like top 1 to use in the next raid. So
yeah, like I think was Tesor that pointed in the forums or was in any of the Facebook pages, I think was in Forsaken, but I'm not sure now, that he's having 2 fleets, the Rhinos that he's using with the remote targeting for missiles, and the Citadels that he's using with the mortars for remote targeting as well. And he just has been adapting to the game, just changing the tanking to the front. So at the end, it's not a fleet that you're just using for 3-4 months. It's a fleet that you can be using for 1 year or even more.
AKA the Rhino.
He has shown that you can do that. The Citadels you have the chances with the best tank that you can prepare. He has posted some videos so you can see that he's able to do the drag bases. I think he showed us doing mines or something alike, or it was the drag uranium base. So he's trying it in different ones, in different scenarios, just changing the tank in the front. So it's not something that you are just going to build for a Forsaken mission.
Yeah, the remote targeting and the play style that it kind of leads to, the limiting factor is more so your tank than the ships behind it. I think some people were talking early on about doing the higher level FM targets with GNXs, now I don't know what weapons were on those GNXs because that's pretty important, but if you just had like a heavy cruiser that was, what, 900,000 in the last raid?
That was J-Boy said about that, mate. One of his one of his guys in his alliance was using it, and they showed the video. It was on the TFC page.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just the lower things like that. So if you get these, I imagine that you would do fantastic even in the next Garrison raid cycle in 6 months, and you can sure as heck refit and or slow build 2 more of these and get them ranked up in that time, and you might even get better tech to put on them before then. So as long as you've got a decent tank in front, like these should be fine, even if they have a, I guess, tier 6 Garrison hull at the either offered in the first month of the raid cycle or the month before. So this is a great investment, just like the Rhino.
It is. To my knowledge, if you are going to coin anything, I think this is probably one of the best deals for a low to mid-level coiner or a non-coiner that was going to think, do you know what, I might invest in this. I think it's probably the best deal that's ever been out, or definitely in the last 24 months. That's my gut feeling. I think it really is. It hits a nail on the head for many people, and it is the absolute hull to go forward with for the FM.
And
I didn't realise it gave the blueprints as well, and that's a major thing. That is massive.
They give all the blueprints that they offer you in the deal. They come into the lab, so you get them all.
I
think that's a real bonus as well.
Yeah, I'm getting worried now that a level 50 player is going to come and steal all my medals.
We were talking also about the tank. The Citadel itself can be a tank, because get in mind that he has a good deflection, at least for that target. Explosive and penetrative is not bad, and with 506 deflection, actually is the same one that you are using on the Punisher that you're using at the moment.
Yeah, and the turret defense as well. So it's like effective 85% with nothing else on it. So you're taking that damage down to about a 1/6, and then subtracting 500 off of it. So that can last.
You will have to boost your evade, but at least it's not negative, so it's not that hard.
Yeah, and they got Guidance Scrambler 3 on there. That's as good as you can do off a single component.
Cool. Well, it was a good offer, and just for a change, it was one that I advised some of mine, and a couple of my people in my alliance have done it as well. And they went, for the first time they've coined something, and they went, actually, I'm back in the game.
Yep.
And they had Punishers, by the way, but they didn't have a mortar hull that could retarget, and all of a sudden they're back in. So they're very, very happy, which has made a big difference. So that's the cash offer for this week, and I actually think this one has been quite decent. So let's change topic, okay? So a quick one, if you wouldn't mind. Andrew's been working hard on the webpage, so forsakencouncil.co.uk. There's a new chapter on there as well, which covers the dub targets and the dub prizes that you can pick up as well. We won't mention the number of shards you've got to get to, obviously get some whole shards, but all those people that were asking specifically in PMs as well, right? If I hit the dub, what am I going to get? He's updated that page as well. So that's getting a lot of hits every month now. We're getting up to into the past, well into 4 figures every week now, which is good news. So that's it. Basically, what I would like to go on to, though, if you wouldn't mind, is talk about the preview. I'll say preview and not previews. I'll do the second one first, okay? So I was going to stream on Friday night, and I was going to stream the second preview, which is going to be the targets. Simple as, okay, Laredo's in chat, and we've got a bit of a banter. But the mechanics wasn't right for it, so basically they stopped it. We went in...
No, Lardo stopped it because we all hate him.
Yeah. But the mechanics wasn't right for it. They noticed it right at the very last minute, so they just stopped it and went, we'll do something later on. It was the right thing to do. It just wasn't working properly. So, and actually Thursdays was also going to be, was almost not going to happen as well. They managed to get that working as well. So so we got the Thursday one out, which is great. We got to see obviously the first reiteration of the target, of the prizes, and we all know that there's been, we've all seen the pictures. There's been a version 2 now already. The Skura missile has been dropped by, its reload dropped 3 seconds already. It just wasn't firing fast and that sort of stuff. So, and they'll tweak that again. I'm sure they will before the actual final raid kicks out as well. But the whole itself. What does everybody think then? the hull itself. Are we looking forward to having a non-retargetable missile hull that's a Reaver hull?
Well, not remote target.
I don't see a use for it. I think at the moment, with all the base hulls we've got, all the Conqueror hulls, we can pretty much smash most bases out there if you get the right builds right, and if you build enough of variations of it. I've seen this in the preview. I've looked at the stats. I just don't. It just doesn't excite me. Yeah, I'll go and win it. I'll get it. I'll build a couple. I'll see, but it just really doesn't excite me.
Just one question for you, Judge. Are you talking about the first ones or the second ones after they made the changes? Because we sent them feedback and they made changes on the blueprint.
Right. I'm sorry, I've not seen the changes on the blueprint. What changes did they made to it?
Well, they gave some tactical field resistance. They added more damage to the missile itself. They gave all the blueprints were changed in general.
There's the missile one. You should be able to see that now, hopefully. So that's changed considerably. So wall damage and building damage at 5,400. Range hasn't changed, but reload has dropped down to 9 seconds, which it was 12. So
yeah, it was 12.
Yeah.
The building damage was half of the.
It'll be the same as yeah. They haven't changed.
To be honest, it's all about the hull for me. It's all about how much pain that hull can take. Have they changed the hull stats much on it?
I'll just see if I can zoom in. Oops, sorry. Let me see if I can zoom in so actually it's legible.
Yeah.
They gave more explosive deflection when you got the overload and.
Is that legible? Can you see that, guys?
Yep. Looks fine to me.
Because that's what Laredo sent through, which was good of him. His first pictures were like matchsticks; they were tiny little things, but these are better ones. So, that's a bit clearer, isn't it? So,
they gave field resistance, yes, and then gave it building damage analyzed because the missile was not doing that much damage to the turrets at first. So,
and did you notice the explosive deflection now 6,000? That's jumped up as well.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's a jump from 4,000, and I think it's the corrosive they added after it wasn't at first, but I don't remember exactly.
It'd be nice to.
So the way I look at it, it's still it's like a missile retribution or whatever it is. As long as you've got decent Deadeye executioners in your base, it's going to tear it apart. I don't think it's bringing nothing too much new to the game that we've got out there already.
It's just to me. Sorry, it's just another spanner in your toolbox. It's just another option. So if a base,
totally.
Yeah, like you need one, maybe two, because the last few Conqueror hulls don't have ballistic deflection on it. So if you're trying, and Revenges kind of fell out of favor. So if you're trying to go against the current meta of Conqueror hulls, you could have your pick and choose of all the limited turrets and all the neat things that they can provide, and then just stack up with blunderbusses because there's no ballistic deflection, and then wreck them. But the existence of this hull keeps those players honest and asks them to rediversify, and so they lower their ballistic damage, and then as a result, all the other hulls without ballistic damage will fare a little better. So you might not even need
deflection.
I possibly see having one in. At the moment, I'm running 3 Furies with 2 Vens, and most bases I get in at the moment. But the this it might help me prep out the blunderbuss at first, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so front end prep. The other things that.
What kind of penetrating defense does
Or
it have?
maybe even for your Furies, if you're hitting with Furies, you can prep now with this. The retributions easy because you were killing those retributions. It doesn't matter. You got anti-pods, one other thing. You were killing them with this, so then your Fury can just make a walk in that base.
Yeah, so in case you can't see them, the defense stats, okay, and so ballistic defense at 14,000, okay, corrosive deflection, okay, sorry, deflections here, so there is no penetrative, okay,
So let's see, this is a missile hull. You drop an Apollo in your base that has 95% penetrative reduction, and you kill this right away.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you can jig it around. But then again, you go look at that base and you go, right, and then you drop in it with a set of subs and you go, right, he's got that in his guard, he's got that in his guard, he's got that in his guard. You go back and you go and pick up the right fleet. This is just another tool in your toolbox. If it had If it had an Apollo in the front end, and if it had a load of Deadeyes, you wouldn't pick this hull, would you? Unless there was something at the very, very front in the front of turrets that needs to be removed, and you'd use this to do that job.
There is another use for this too.
Totally agree what TSM's saying there is I'd build one of these as a spanner in my toolbox. It's not like, the Fury, I built 7 bare hulls of that. I've got them all schooled, and at the moment I'm refitting them ready for various base hitting roles. That is a cracking hull. Whereas next month we've got this, I'll build one, and then it gives me a whole month free to do refits on the other stuff.
Sure.
So look at that as a positive.
Well, something that could have helped this boat is if it had remote targeting on it.
Yeah, but they did say they wouldn't do remote targeting holes for, again, missile holes for some time. That was mooted a couple of months ago, that there would be quite a considerable amount of time now before the next retargeting missile hull would come out.
Okay.
This actually would probably be really good for use in megaship battles.
Yeah, it could be.
That's another use that you could maybe.
No, actually, I take that back, because if you think about it, what they're introducing now, here we go back on mega hulls. The drone are missile hulls, and they do so much damage that one of those missiles would kill this without even a second thought.
And the drones are PvE drones, aren't they? Not PvP drones. So this,
they're
half the stats in this wouldn't work because this is the Conqueror hull. So
you don't control the drones. The drones they target the ships first, and then they go after the other mega hull.
Yeah.
Have the drones got bypass or not?
100%, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what we was talking about. So that's.
Damn, I've got sound back.
Yeah, you're in, Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, just did you come back in? So
I've had to start reading the instructions on the headset. All right.
I'm just gonna. 2 other things I noticed that was in that preview there of the target. Sorry, of the prizes was this here. So this component, this limited component here, which basically adds a lot of attack stats. Look, a ballistic penetrate. In fact, it covers the whole range, doesn't it? Look, bonus combat speed as well, giving you a total weight of, I think it's 8%. Yeah, 8% basically. I don't know if when it's going to come in, whether it's going to come in a TLC or whether it's going to come as part of a backup to one of the raid prizes.
Back to the DA6, so.
You know what that looks like? That looks like something that could fit on the drones more than anything
well, it's
else.
only going to fit on a Conqueror class, look. So it's limited to Conquerors only, so it's only base attacks. You can't put it on anything else. So there's that. Bear in mind, if the whole class is now, if these things are tiered to a class, it won't work on another class ship. So bear that in mind.
Look at what the class on the drone module is. That's what I'm getting ready to do.
All right, mate. Okay. And then there's this other one here, which is this one here. Now, this isn't classed a tail. So this is the Zinth Armor 5 ST. And if you notice on that one there, then that's quite interesting because obviously it's got stun resistance on it built in, which is quite handy.
No deflection.
No deflection. No, you're right. It's a raw stat, isn't it? So
yeah. So probably this is the next armor for the Forsaken mission for the next round.
Yeah,
It was just a little bit of fishing around I did when Liam was doing his stream. I managed to get my base on. I was on my mobile phone. I managed to get my base on. I just clipped these 2 pictures, and I thought, wow, what are these things? So,
well, there's the subs too from that.
Yeah. So just go back to that. We'll go this one first. So the Hellwraith. Notice the arm points on the Hellwraith that was in that preview. Went up to 24,200.
I noticed it because getting in, you got the soft damage because of the change of the armor.
I can hear you, Paul.
Yeah, but is that another? Are we gonna have to repair these again?
That's the point, isn't it? Yeah. Well, they fixed that issue, didn't they, about subs being overweight or underweight, and you can actually repair them. So when that preview came up and I went in, as Liam quickly said there, my subs were damaged. And I thought, oh, here we go, that damage issue's come back again. And it wasn't that. It was the fact that I wasn't up to my full health stat because obviously they were much lower. Is it about 9,000, something like that? And obviously now it's 24.
11,000 base.
I'm a game player, as you know. They have the stats on the hulls. The people that have already built them shouldn't have to pay the penalty for it.
No, but the thing is, if you give me, see, it's a catch-22 here, right? If they're doubling the armor points, as in the shelf life of this hull, so that it can go through and hit a target and last longer in the target, okay, then that's great. But then again, the potential build, the fixed time, okay, is extended as well. So actually, it's a double negative. Oh, it's not a double negative.
The fixed time's the big issue for me. The fixed time is really the big issue for me on this.
Yeah. Don't agree.
With my subs, I try to keep them, or a lot of my fleets, even the Furies, I'm putting D2E panels on them because the repair time on the Fury, 30 minutes. Why do you want to make that massive by adding D5 armor on it? You know, and over quadruple its repair time.
I ensured that my complete fleet of subs for the last raid was done in raid time fixed. It was all done in 7 hours and 59 minutes exactly.
Yeah. And so you put a grease monkey with that, or sorry, you're doing it in sort of like 8 coins for the whole thing, which is fine. But all of a sudden now they're going to add extra armor to it so that we can get through their ridiculous targets that they've just shown us a preview on in the last TLC.
I totally agree with what you're saying here.
And now all they're doing is increasing our repair time on them. So look,
what's the flip side? The flip side is adjust the target, so you haven't got to adjust the ships.
Adjust the targets, or actually, if you're going to have base health points like they're giving us, give us repair times like we get on the Furies, like we get on the Retributions, like we get on the Vanks. You know, you're getting nearly 100,000 repair or armor points on a hull like that for 30 minutes.
And the dilution of repair modifier by adding armor is going to apply to these two. It's not as noticeable, but it's still there. It does keep its normal repair modifier, but there's another thing that I really need to stress about this. So I heard about it a while back when the Vanquisher was released, and I did a bit of testing a couple days ago, and it still worked. The base armor points, each base armor point is an invisible quarter ton of armor weight. And how I tested this, I took a Vanquisher, which is 500,000 tons pure armor, and I put layered 2 on it, which gives 10% armor weight, and it went to, I think it was 125, it went to 12,500 tons and immediately overweight just by adding the special, nothing else. So work it out. Every armor point is a quarter ton, and where that matters is when you add in specials that add to armor weight, like a Blade of Armor 3 that we all happen to have on our subs right now, or most of us do. That's 14% of additional armor weight. So these additional armor points add 3,300 tons of quote-unquote armor weight. And if you have AA3 on, and this change goes through as said, it might not go through, but if it does, your ship is going to have 462 tons more of weight on it after the update than it did before. And it might make some ships overweight. I think it'll make mine overweight. And they changed...
Probably make mine overweight as well. That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah, they changed something a while back where you don't have to scrap your ships. You can now refit them from being overweight so that you can still use them without having to scrap. And that's good. But... This shouldn't have to happen in any capacity at all. We all built these subs for specific targets. We shouldn't have to refit them because of something like this. The damage should just be toned down proportionally so that our ships would have the same average lifetime. And you know what? You might be giving a little more bonus time to those of us with armor, but that's something that we should get. We should get a longer survivability by ratio of armor without as the penalty for incurring the extra repair and the time in putting the armor on, because most D5 armor is nearly 2 days unless you're running D5R or D5 CT, in which case it's less. But most run, if you want to run D5, D5X I think is the way to go. So be warned and all the math.
Yeah, and if they are going to make us all refit because of they changed the armor, I expect then sending us tokens. Not repair tokens, I mean refitting tokens.
A refit, yeah.
Because if we have to remove armors for refitting just because they changed it all, it's going to be a pain of the ass for everybody to have to change.
I don't think they should even have to go giving us refit tokens. I don't think they should just, sod the changes. If they want to armor up our subs, make them like the Furies or the Vanks, but let's not give us the penalties with it. Let's have a bit of a bonus where we've got extra armor. We don't have the huge repair time. This is one of the things that's made me actually enjoy the game more. They're giving us base hulls. They're giving us hulls that can have nearly 100,000 sort of armor points, and then they're only got half-hour repair. So you can shove them into bases. You can get blown up. You've only got a 6-hour repair time when your whole fleet's dead. I'll happily coin that. Let's go and play and hit another base. That's what the game's all about to me. But all of a sudden, they're just going to start sort of like messing it all up again, and giving us more repair in other areas that we don't need to have it.
I'll mention it now because obviously this is a YouTube and not a Twitch feed. Okay, Laredo's made a good point actually in the chat there. And it's something that George and I was talking about earlier on. The stinker in the room, the elephant in the room, is basically the Ghost Crawler, because obviously a lot of people managed to pick it up at the end of the Apollo raids. And most people have got them now. They're up and running. I've got one myself. I haven't had to rank it too much because it just takes longer, but it still works perfectly fine. You can go through and you can 2/3 annihilate an S target, and you can just exit, and you take no damage whatsoever. So they've done one or two things here. Obviously, they made the targets more difficult, so that it can't be done with a Ghost Crawler for no damage whatsoever. Okay, they've added thermal in as well, so obviously you're now getting spotted before you get to the target. But that's come at a cost. That's come at the cost of the absolute weapon that we were supposed to use to hit this target, and that's the Dumbfire Twister Torp.
Yeah,
the Dumbfire Twister Torp is not supposed to hit or be as good at hitting moving targets, and it isn't very good. You normally miss about 1 in 3. So the weapon of choice is no longer the weapon of choice if they continue down this avenue.
Mark, can you tell us which has been always the way for Kickside to avoid that you use subs in a raid?
So what you're saying there is Kickside think we all have Ghost Crawlers. And that's just absolute bollocks. I'm a level 100 player.
No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. What it is that
they're looking at Hellraid. That's what they're defending against.
No. What the GC did last raid was be able to go through the raid entirely and not only get their own points for free and no damage at all, but also prep for people for free and no damage at all, which was not. This is not something that they want.
Well, but fair play to the Ghost Crawler players that have gone and hit all those targets and taken all that damage and coined it to get it. I refuse to do that. I've gone and got my Ghost Crawler shards from the raids where you get 4-5 shards for 2 million points. I get it for that, but I refuse to coin and hit the targets in the last raids. I think it was Scourge raids where they had a lot of Ghost Crawler shards available. I refuse to do that. But all of a sudden they're punishing everyone else for those who have got a Ghost Crawler, which I think is wrong.
Now, look, this is something that they've done always. If someone breaks the raid somehow, it gets adjusted. I mean, they did it in the middle, after a day and a half in one raid. I'm very positive of that one.
No, I remember them doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was, I know the group that did that, but here's the thing: is the GC got through the thing for free. That is not how raids work. That's not how they want to ever have raids work. I mean, we figured that out when we got the Barracuda. The very first time we got the Barracuda, the next raid, we're using it to dummy all the targets because they were shooting at the Barracuda while I was underwater. Do you remember that? And that got changed real quick. That's how we got torpedo towers, was because of that. So the GC's doing this. They have to mitigate the GC. Now, the thing that I have a problem with is not that they're mitigating the GC, because I understand it's a business. They don't want to give away stuff for free. But I have a problem with them coming up all the time with overly complex solutions to something that could be very simple. Okay? You got to try not mitigate the weapon that they gave you for this raid. So you can't have everything moving right at the beginning off the bat. But, man, the last S targets, if you just put thermal on the big ships and put most of the points on those big hulls, they're going to have to take damage or they're not going to get many points. The flip side to that is you can prep really easy that way. So, it's a give and take, but rather than complicate everything and add the armor and then change the builds and all this other crap, just take a nice simple solution and go, hey, you know what? These 3-4 things in each target are going to have most of the points. They're going to have thermal on them. They move slow enough where if they start moving because they see you in your Hellwraith, it's not going to mitigate that torpedo that much. But if you're in a Ghost Crawler, you're still going to get hit by their torpedoes and take damage. And because of the 400% modifier, you're going to take proportional damage to a Hellwraith.
Maybe they want you to use the Mana War in this one.
I still like to know what I can use my Mana War for.
I thought it was going to be...
Okay, look, it's as simple as this. Right? Based on the last raid, okay, and we had a single target, okay, which should be in this raid, because remember what they said, you'd have one target on the first raid, then you'd have 2 targets on the second raid. One of those targets would be the previous raid targets, and then there'd be a new configured target. Okay, we haven't seen that new target yet, because obviously we had to cancel Friday's preview. My suggestion to Kix, ideally, we can get another preview before the 13th when the raid kicks off, and we can have a look at this new target and maybe settle some of the nerves of some of the people. And then, obviously, those with the Ghost Crawlers that managed to get into the preview as well can then decide what they think about the new target and decide whether they want to use the darn thing or not. My only concern, yet again, I'll go back to the fact is, everybody built the goddamn Hellwraith and spanked it to death with the new torpedo, the Twister Torp, the go-to torpedo for this hull. If those are now 1/3 inefficient, you're going to take 1/3 more damage because you're not firing. So that needs to be something that's seriously looked at, because that is wrong.
It is wrong.
That's
given the issue that they had with engagement, we'll say, of the last raid, they cannot mess up the next raid, because it would be disastrous for the game. I think
38% people
it's disastrous for the whole game playing people.
Yeah, what was that, Mark? It was 30 what?
38% drop-off rate compared to the raid before
of active
play,
people that participated.
People that started the raid, at least engaged. Okay, there's a 38% drop-off rate.
Yeah, I think we was at 58,000 people when it dropped down to 33,000 people.
It was a huge drop-off.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, that's a bad thing, and they really they have one shot to not screw this up, because if they do mess up the next one, the cumulative effect is going to be horrible to the game.
So let's see. I mean, I'm hoping they stopped Fridays because they understood that. And they thought, let's have a little think about this and let's do it. I was just informed the game mechanics wasn't right, and it wasn't going to go to public. So that was it. So let's see where it takes it.
Let's hope they didn't think that the TLC type of target was the next appropriate target for us all hit, because that was an absolute fucking joke. It's the only way I can describe it.
Most of us as game players know that, and we picked that up on that really quick.
Yeah,
but they need to be told that. They need to be told.
They know that because nobody's engaged it. So, or next to nobody's engaged it. I tried it.
Oh well, yeah.
That
people still do throw money at it, though, don't they?
Yeah,
or hacks.
There'll be a few people that have actually done it. But as game players go, you will find 90% of the gameplay base at this particular moment in time did not try the TLC for the sub-campaign thing, whatever it's called. What was it called?
Pirates Plunder.
On
the Pirates Plunder one.
Titan 2, the Pirates Plunder. Sorry, I haven't even looked at it yet.
Yeah. No, just because
I'm concentrating on the other one. So.
Yeah. I mean, you're on the Mega Hot one, which makes sense.
Let's go there.
Working theory is Pirates Plunder was a psychological experiment by Kixeye to determine the masochistic tendencies of Battle Pirates players.
Yeah. Okay, listen, guys, time's moving on. We've gone past the hour. However, okay, those are the subjects that I thought were relevant for this week. Okay, because all those things have been live and they've been discussed on our page. So it's always good to talk about them on a Saturday night. Is there anybody got anything that they want that's burning away at them that they'd like to just bring up? A quick one-liner. Anybody at all?
I want to know. Go ahead,
go. Okay.
I was just gonna ask Mark how many seals did he bash during his week, but
I didn't know. My name's not Ren. All right then. Okay, I didn't do seals. We had a discussion about that once before. So So
Mega.
The way I go on an AT package is basically you take away pictures, but you just leave footprints, and that's it.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Brian, all you. Sorry.
No worries. So even within this current raid cycle and in the previews leading up to such, there were a lot of drastic changes that weren't announced very well. There's a lot of large shifts, and it concerns me a lot that these massive shifts are happening before and during a raid cycle. I personally think that there is someone reasonably high up, not necessarily any of the mods or GD Rickon or anyone like that. Someone up a little higher in a different department is responsible for making decisions about these targets, and they need to not be responsible for making those decisions anymore because no one is liking the changes that are being made.
Well said, Brian.
It's called bean counters, Brian. They don't think you're getting enough money.
No, it's called trash economists and psychologists.
Well, yeah.
Actually.
The one line I want to say.
I'm an accounting major. I kind of have to defend the field whenever people go on about, oh, it's the accountants, this and that. Well, not really.
Okay, can I make a one-line?
Go on, Judge.
A one-liner at the end of this. Yeah. Personally, I think Kixeye have done a few things right lately. So don't trash me for this. I think the Fury build times, I think the Fury repair times, I think the repair times of Conqueror hulls have been brilliant lately. I've got a base hitting hull now, or fleet, which is 3 Furies and 2 Vendettas. I think it's 6 hours to repair the whole thing from dead. And that is a right way to go forward, because I can actually hit quite a lot of bases, get in them. Some I'd fail, but it's enjoyable. It's not a whole day's repair. It's actually meaning that I will actually happily coin that repair to play again.
As I did this morning when I hit about 20 different places in one go.
Yeah.
They've done something like that. The repair times are great. The build times of the ships are really good. They're a lot better than they used to be historically. The tokens are good. So all of a sudden now, each month I'm building a whole fleet of hulls ready to go for the next month without messing around, waiting for, having a whole lot of ships queuing up. So I think Kixeye are doing well there. But let's just get the raid targets right, the TLC targets right. I don't mind coining a little, but making me coin a lot is what really pisses me off.
Yeah.
My one-liner is what happened to the bonus tokens in Tier 5?
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. Okay, so, and the Raiders mentioned that in chat earlier on. Okay, so I was looking at the statistics of the number of tokens versus the timeline of build. Okay, and actually, I still think we're onto a good deal. I genuinely do. Forgetting the lead holes like the Harlock Citadel, because that's a special niche market hole, and I actually understand now why it took so much longer to build, because I've got it in my base and it's sculled and it's amazing, and it's definitely worth the extra build time for what it does.
The Soddle against Furies.
It can absolutely that single ship can annihilate a whole fleet. It's really, really powerful. And if I was to take out the Harlock Citadel.
Oh, I love that boat.
And so that type of hull
against Furies.
Yeah, so that type of hull, it's ideal. But the generic hulls their build times have halved. You can build a complete fleet in half the time that you used to be able to do 2 ships. So to say that we've lost the token, I know 3 people this week, including myself, believe it or not, that have actually got the 3-day additional token on.
No, it doesn't exist.
Oh shit!
It's been 2 months since I've seen one of those or better.
Do you want to see it posted? I can post it now if you want, because I've actually kept it, because I'm keeping it for the next raid.
We need it posted here, I'll tell you.
I can show you in a second. But the point
That's like a fucking unicorn.
Okay, and I'm sure Laredo will probably put it up in a second, because he did the math just a minute ago. But you are getting, something like about, what is it? 15 days per month or something like that of tokens, and the ships are taking half the time to build on average. Okay, so we're on a win-win situation. So has the game got cheaper? Yes, it has. Are build times coming down? Yes, they are. Are we complaining about we're missing a single 2-day ship build token twice a month? Well, I don't think that's a situation, okay? I think we've gained a considerable lot, okay, by the very fact that our build, the average ship used to be 21 to 23 days per ship, and we're now down to 11 days on average. So, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it. I think they've given an awful lot, you know, they needed to, because we had nothing that could hit bases, because what the game mechanic did last year was completely screw up base hitting V-base defense. So they've had to reset, but long may it continue as far as I'm concerned.
No, totally with you with that.
Tokens at tier 5, I want to see one.
But I'll tell you what, I'd love a 3-day token just once.
Really?
I want to see it posted. Anybody that's got it has got to post it factual based timeline.
What are you on about?
3-day token at the 2 and 3-day token at T5.
Man, you calling me a liar?
No,
I'm not calling you a liar. I've just not seen one yet. I mean,
no, nor have I. And nor have a lot of people.
Okay, all right.
They're not calling you a liar.
I wouldn't call you a liar, Mark, at all. I wouldn't call anybody a liar.
Maybe he's a hacker.
Oh,
no.
Hey, let's not go there, because that starts getting very political, doesn't it? Eh?
I know the tokens are being won because people on my alliance are saying they're getting them, but they are so far between compared to how we used to get them. But that said, I'm totally with you with the amount of tokens we get now. I'm happy with it. It's good.
It's about ratio, isn't it? Okay.
I'm having a little joke with you there, Mark, but the 3 days are very rare now.
Okay, just for you, just to make you feel better. Okay, then, because I know you know.
You got 5 back to back.
There we go. All right.
Is that the one you bought?
That's this week's 3 days.
Lardo's just sent him that quickly.
From the I've just been given that quickly. Yeah.
Lardo's like, have 3 days.
What did you have to do to let that one?
I believe that this is Photoshop because there's only 78 gold in that picture.
That's after he spent
it does move. Okay, there we go. Look. Okay, right.
That was after he spent 130 to get it. Don't forget that.
Okay. On that note, gentlemen, is there any final points before we close? Any more points before we close? That's constructive. I wasn't asking Paul.
Build your mega hulls.
I wasn't asking Paul. It's relevant.
Build your Hyperions, they will be worthwhile.
Actually, Laredo did post up how many tokens we get per year without the 3-day. If we only got the 2-day and the 1-day in Tier 5, we get 328 days of tokens in the FM.
Whoa, check it out.
That's a lot of tokens. A lot of days.
What we're building at the moment.
If that's right. I don't know if that's right, but that's a lot of.
I'll be honest. I've run out of things to build.
I haven't. Lucky you dirty corner.
If he gives some credit, he has still been looking for Stevie for a few days.
You know, so yeah, exactly. But I mean, you know, I did that last month's TLC where you could get the Executioner, Dead-Eyed Executioner 7-day build tokens. You get 5 of those. So I went and did that TLC again, and as you saw there, my turrets are now level 7 right across the board because there were only 10 days to do. So they were fine. That's helped me. I only had to actually wait 3 days on each of those there. So that helped me massively and get the other few of my turrets up and running. And like I say, you know, 328 build tokens. That's 10 hulls, isn't it? Basically, 10 hulls for free. Based on the old system, if it was like 30 odd days a hull, but it's not. It's now 11 days a hull on average.
I've been very stubborn to use those 7-day tokens. I think they're going to bring out OP9.
Laredo's posting in chat. Laredo's posting in chat. He didn't say tokens from raids in that post. Whatever you were referring to.
FM. No, I think I said FM. Did I not say FM?
Are we offline now?
It's
no.
Between plus or minus is raids and FM. I'm seeing in the chat right now.
28 days in plus. Oh, is raids and that's
FM.
Raids and FM. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. That is my mistake.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm helpful in a 20-second delay.
time.
It's a stack load of dates, isn't it? That's an awful lot of build tokens. So I know some of the build tokens you got to get to the limited area of the raid prize pool and that sort of stuff, but not the last one you didn't have to. So it's not bad. Right, gentlemen, I'm going to finish it there. If you're content, I'm going to say have a good day tomorrow for all those that are still doing things. Those that are TLCing, okay, enjoy yourself, Paul. I can see you having a spectacle. You're not going to
all one of you.
Okay.
Tomorrow is level 2.
Okay. Giggle away on that one.
I think.
Okay. Look forward to next Tuesday's basically TFC live. We'll have a chat on something. I'm not really sure basically what we're going to be covering, but it should be the weekly update because it's nothing special.
You should have the next Tuesday then, Mark.
Say again.
Maybe it's more work because probably you will have the work in progress.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to have work in progress, but we'll see.
I want to see some vacation pictures, man. I'm still waiting to see all these animals.
The vacation pictures. Okay. Do you know what? Scotland in October is not that sunny, mate. You don't want to see the pictures. It wasn't a good advert.
No, it's quite tranquil. It's cold. It's got a little bit of sea there.
Yeah.
You might be able to find out
a little bit of a seal blubbering around there and all that kind of thing.
It was definitely a case of bobbing along. Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. I'll say goodnight, all. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Not everybody.
Good night.
Good night.